Quarterback. That has been the topic of discussion for the Minnesota Vikings this entire offseason. And it's going to continue to be the topic of discussion until we figure out what is going to happen with Kirk Cousins. Are we going to re-sign him? What's going to happen? We have no idea up to this point. We've only heard a couple things, the rumors of him leaving Minnesota or rumors of him saying, I want to stay in Minnesota, and what his contract details might be and moving forward. But we have to look at the scenario that Kirk Cousins isn't a Minnesota Viking after free agency or after the scouting combine, after the NFL draft. We have to look at that scenario and who might be the guy that overtakes Kirk Cousins. Well, there's been one quarterback that I think most of us have already seen being linked to the Vikings. So, are the Vikings really interested in looking at Sam Darnold and bringing him in to be the new quarterback? I gotta say, I'm not 100% sure if this is true. It's just a rumor, but it could be, it could happen. Sam Darnold could end up being a Minnesota Viking next season with the hopes of drafting a rookie quarterback to help learn under him for just a year. Basically, just a bridge quarterback. So let's get right into it. Before we do, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Now, the Minnesota Vikings, a few weeks away from potentially losing Kirk Cousins, are prepared to part ways with the veteran quarterback, considering a report that the team is eyeing Sam Darnold as his short-term replacement. Pioneer Press columnist Charlie Walters reported on February 25th that while Cousins, poised to reach free agency on March 13th, is garnering interest with the Atlanta Falcons, the Vikings are also looking at signing Darnold as a bridge veteran to pair alongside a rookie quarterback. All right, it says, this is what the guy said, Atlanta still looks like Cousins' next destination. Meanwhile, there's whispering now that the Vikings are considering free agent Sam Darnold, who is 26, as a bridge quarterback to replace Cousins before April's draft. Now, if Cousins leaves, the next step for the Vikings will be determining if they can move up in the draft from number 11 to take an elite quarterback. We've talked about it multiple times. Can we find a way to trade up from number 11 to the number 2 spot, to the number 3 spot, to the number 8 spot, whatever the case may be, to take the quarterback of the future for the Minnesota Vikings, whether that's Jaden Daniels, Drake May, J.J. McCarthy, Michael Penix. I don't think you have to trade up for. You can probably sit at number 11 or even take him in round 2. I just feel like he's going to fall, but obviously draft night, anything can happen. But also, you have to remember, while Darnold isn't a name for fans to rave about, he's an experienced starter in the NFL who can keep the Vikings offense humming in 2024. The expectation of signing Darnold would be to remain competitive while the team develops a blue-chip quarterback prospect that they select in the first round. However, there are also higher hopes that Darnold could be a late bloomer after Baker Mayfield's ascension last year, right? Baker was not doing so hot in Cleveland, goes over to Tampa Bay or bounces over to Carolina, then the Rams, and finally he lands in Tampa Bay, and bada bing, bada boom, he's in the playoffs. He looked pretty good this season, right? Now, NFL Network's Tom Pelissero said during Super Bowl week that there is hope for Darnold to be this year's Baker Mayfield, while the Vikings could also hedge that bet with a rookie quarterback as well. Here's what Tom Pelissero said. My anticipation is that Cousins will have a strong market as a free agent, even at the age of 35, coming off an Achilles injury. Minnesota is examining all options in the event that Cousins ends up landing elsewhere. If, in fact, the price tag goes too high, the Vikings would pursue a more economical veteran, right? One guy who is a possibility, Sam Darnold, the 49ers' current backup here, hoping that he becomes this year's Baker Mayfield, while also buying them time to maybe also develop a rookie quarterback. So, first off, my thoughts on this whole situation with Sam Darnold. Yes, I'm not a fan. Don't like it really, but I understand the move if it were to be made, right? If Cousins leaves, what's the best option moving forward? Well, you're not going to go out and sign Russell Wilson to a $56 million deal, whatever the case may be. You're not going to sign a quarterback for, $40 million. It's just not, that's not in the best interest of the team unless you feel like you can get a good 5 to 10 years out of the guy, which veterans at this time, I don't think you can. There's a slight chance that you might be able to. But going after Sam Darnold, who would be cheap because he did serve as a backup, he played for the Jets, and he hasn't been good, would be a perfect bridge quarterback to set up a rookie future quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings, like Jaden Daniels, like Drake May, like J.J. McCarthy, like Michael Penix. Let him learn for 1 year, even half a year, right? If Sam Darnold just isn't cutting it, boom, put that rookie in there, send him out to the Wolves, and see what he has. We have to see sooner or later if he's capable of taking this team by the reins for the rest of the future, or for at least the next 5 to 10 years, right? So if this move were to be made, I would be okay with it if, in fact, we did select a quarterback in this year's draft. Now, if we sign Sam Darnold and we don't get a quarterback in the draft, then I'm going to be very upset, and you should be too. Right? I know right off at first glance, nobody's going to like this move with Sam Darnold coming to Minnesota, because it doesn't really help us out in any way, shape, or form. But money-wise, bridge-wise, helping a rookie quarterback, setting him up, building the team a little bit more so that that rookie quarterback actually has some weapons, or not really weapons, has a better foundation around him, would be perfect for the Minnesota Vikings. So if the Vikings are truly interested in Sam Darnold, they must be interested in one of the rookie quarterbacks and selecting a rookie quarterback in this year's draft. Whether that's at pick 11 or trading up and drafting one, trading or waiting till round 2 to take one. I don't care what it is, but you have to find the rookie quarterback if they are willing to take Sam Darnold and sign him to at least a 1-year contract, which some say could be about $10 million, which would be perfect if you ask me. So the Sam Darnold to the Minnesota Vikings, is it real? Is it not? I'm not 100% sure, but it is a story that has been out there. You guys can let me know your thoughts in the comments section about Sam Darnold possibly being a Minnesota Viking this next season. Also, drop a like and subscribe to the channel. It'd be much, much appreciated. Have a great rest of your night, folks, and Skol Vikes.